sort of reflect on the day and to move things along to whatever you're going to do after the summit today, right? But what I promised you there was going to be a special announcement, and I know several of you stayed just to hear what was going to be said. So I am going to reintroduce Mr. Eddie Laporte, who's going to come up and give you some information about a special initiative that he is launching. Come on up here, Eddie.
Woo, I don't know about you. Hello? I'm beaten. Thanks, Jeff, for this opportunity. The Office of Faith-Based Initiatives has two funding opportunities that we're going to be releasing. There's one that's released now that's focusing on supporting, it's our DS project, Direct Service Application Project, and it's looking to fund social services in the area of at-risk youth, services to seniors, English as a second language, and asset building, wealth creation through asset building. There's one more mandatory training session left, and it's May 30th. So if you don't make that session, you cannot apply for this funding opportunity. The due date is June 28th, and it is open to all nonprofits that are, 501c3 eligible. You can go to our website. I don't have my card, but if you Google the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives, it'll take you to the page. On the front page, you'll be able to see the requirements. There's also a registration form that you'll need to fill out and fax in. The morning session is packed. There's two sessions on the 30th. They're both in Trenton. The morning session is packed, right, Linda?
Yes.
So if you're going to come, you need to come to the afternoon session, unless you want to stand for 2.5, 3 hours in the morning session. I think it's 10 to 12?
10 to 12 and 1 to 3.
10 to 12 and 1 to 3. The second one, it's not released yet. It will be released, and it focuses on supporting existing social entrepreneur ventures and emerging entrepreneur ventures, and it's called Seed Project 1 and Seed Project 2. Seed Project stands for Social Enterprise Entrepreneur Development Project, but when you see it, it'll be SE²D. So Seed Project 1 and Seed Project 2. How did this come about? As I'm trying to figure this out, I'm trying to nurture an environment that allows for the development of social entrepreneur ventures to create innovative approaches to address social issues. I try to figure out what can the office do to try to spur the growth of these ventures in the state of New Jersey. One of the things that I said is, you know what, we get funding. I can carve out a little piece here and see if there is a demand from the nonprofit sector to see if they'd be willing to submit an application. So Seed Project 1 focuses on existing social entrepreneur ventures. These are ventures that address a social issue innovatively, generate a revenue, and that they train and hire the folks that they're training and hiring back into the particular venture. You have to have at least some proof that you've been generating an income for the last 3 or 4 years, that you have a business plan in place. Even our funding application process is different. You'll be submitting an online application, but each of the sections that you'll be completing are sections of a business plan. And the readers will be able to review those applications and rate the business plan, so long as it focuses on the definition of what we call a social entrepreneur, which is a venture that addresses social issue innovatively and addresses a social issue innovatively and generates a revenue. Now, we're looking to fund organizations at $100,000, but you need to come up with a $50,000 cash match. That's right. That's right. Yep. Drop your pens down. Here's the deal. You don't need the $50,000. You don't need the entire $50,000 when you apply. You need at least $25,000. The due date is going to be extended, probably August, September, so you guys have enough time to identify cross-sector collaborations to try to raise this capital, right? Now, the $50,000 cash match can be used as leverage, Eric, if I'm correct, right? With UCEDC, right? So that they will work with you so that you can get a loan from UCEDC, Union County Economic Development Corporation, to leverage that $50,000 for an additional $50,000. So now your working capital is $200,000. And the goal here is to help existing social entrepreneurs to grow and scale themselves and leverage this $200,000 for additional funding opportunities through other opportunities. So that's number one, right? Oh, you have to be a nonprofit because we can't fund for-profits. That's another, oh God. So you have to be a nonprofit and all the eligibility requirements are there. The second track is called Seed Project 2. Seed Project 2 supports emerging nonprofit organizations that want to participate, enhance their capacity, need the infrastructure to be able to design a project that will become a social entrepreneur venture. And this will be at $50,000, and you've got to come up with a $25,000 cash match. So at the end of the day, it's a $75,000 project. This one here is the one that everybody's telling me that I'm going to lose the most, that we're going to lose the most money in, because, you know, emerging organizations don't really carry through. But here's where I come from. I've got to be able to give organizations an opportunity to get into this game. And if I'm just focusing on existing entrepreneurs, I got to be able to give an opportunity for the emerging nonprofits that are in this conference and outside of this conference to be able to say, you know, I think we got a good idea. I think we have the capacity. And I think we want to go for this, and I think we can create an innovative approach to address a social issue. With this one, it takes a lot of technical assistance and training. The Seed Project 2 is going to demand, see, I'm demanding that the board president, the board secretary, the board treasurer, the executive director, and a high-ranking staff person attend mandatory business plan development training sessions through UCEDC. And why am I mandating that? Because if you're an emerging organization, this is a mind shift in the culture. This is a cultural shift on how you think. And I need the shifting of the mind of that particular organization to start from the top down and not the bottom up. So if you want to participate in Seed Project 2, when it comes out, I think you're going to have a serious conversation with the leadership of your organization to see where the commitment is at. Because this is a commitment in shifting the culture of the organization, and you're going to have to balance those two cultures. You're going to have to deal with this O for the children, the traditional nonprofit mindset, with this new, innovative, cutting-edge, progressive new culture, and how do you manage that? And if it's not managed from the top down, I think it'll be disastrous for the organization. When is this funding coming out? Probably before the end of June of this year. We'll have a number of mandatory training and technical assistance sessions. You'll have to attend the training sessions in order to apply. It's going to be very competitive, I think. It'll be a small number of organizations. Seed Project 1, I think we're looking to fund at least 5 organizations at $100,000. Seed Project 2, about 6 or 7 at $50,000. It gives us an opportunity to really work with these organizations and try to push them forward. We're going to be working with Rutgers University to evaluate this thing from the beginning. I'd like to get a quasi-experimental group out there so that I can, figure out whether what we're doing really is helping out these organizations compared to organizations that aren't doing this but are still in the game. So that's our funding. That's the surprise of the day, right? So at Seed Project, we got a mandatory training technical assistance next week for a current RFP that we've released, which is May 30th at Trenton. Go on the website, Google the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. If you don't attend that training session and you haven't attended the prior 6, you can't apply for that funding. And then probably in the next 3 weeks, Seed Project 1 and Seed Project 2 will be released. Seed Project 1 and Seed Project 2 is the Office of Faith-Based Initiatives a plan to try to energize the nonprofit sector to say, hey, listen, we can't fund everybody here, and I know that there are existing social entrepreneurs out there and social enterprises in place because I've met them, but I also need to be able to work with the emerging organization and enhance their capacity so that they can be in a better position a year from now to be able to apply for Seed Project 1 either next year or the year after that. I don't have my business cards with me, but if you want to write my numbers down, I'll give them to you. My direct line is 609-292-9808. That's 292-9808. My cell phone, because it's on my business card, is 609-433-9386. 609-433-9386. My email is Edward, EDWARD, .laporte, LAP as in Peter, ORTE, at sos.state.nj.us. So it's edward.laporte at sos.state.nj.us. I'm hoping to see a lot of folks there at that TA session. And keep your eyes open. And you got to be on our email listserv. So if you want to get the information, email me and just say on the subject, just say add me to the loop. Now, I don't want to read a dissertation about when you started, how long you've been in business. Just write add me to the loop, and I'll add you to our email distribution list so you can get the email. Thank you very much.
All right. Great announcement, great information. Of course, we'll have more things to come. But Andy, you've been working with us and supporting our efforts, so you're now part of the Institute family, which means you got to get one of these white blue bags, made in Newark, union labor and everything. So here you go. Thank you. All right, time to close things out. Except for one of you out here is walking around and not able to read because I have your glasses. So if you're missing some browns like them reading glasses, please see me right after this, and I will provide this to you. Just want to provide you some insight into how all this comes together. I'm not a one-person show, contrary to popular belief. Lots of people who have contributed to how we've done this, and I just want to recognize some of them. We had a number of volunteers today. You may have seen them with their badges that said volunteer on the bottom. Some of them are my graduate students, and of course, their volunteership was tied to them getting a doctoral degree. But there are other people who actually did volunteer willingly, and I want to thank all of them. If you were one of the volunteers, just stand and we'll recognize you. Appreciate you. We had several staff members from Rutgers University, several of my colleagues. I saw Dana Bachna from the IFL, the Institute for Entrepreneurial Leadership, and LaToya Fendrick in the back there from our center. I want to thank them for being here. We had several folks who were representing their own companies, like WebSignia, who we contracted with. When you go home, you want to talk more about this, you go to our website, njsesummit.org, and you'll see all the videos that have been shot today. Will be online, so you can go on there and point people to them and say, you should have been there, or here's an interesting speaker, or what have you. So we thank WebSignia for their work. Is Holly still here from Minuteman Press? I think she may have left. Well, the bags that you all received today, we ordered from local companies who were able to get some of the products that we needed today. So in Newark, we had Minuteman Press, Holly Kaplansky, and Porter Print. They printed the program books, another one of the Halsey Street businesses in Newark. So I want to thank them. And then there is a couple of people who have experienced this before who came back to help us again. I call it the return of Madhvi. Madhvi Kasinazuni is over here with one of our graduates. She helped us on the summit back in October, and she decided that she still wanted to be our friend and help us on this one. So I thank you. But none of this would have been possible without the hard work of Raquel Clark. So Raquel, come on up here. You see sort of all these plans come together. You see the food here. You see the room set up a certain way. You see things going on email, you see flyers and program books, and you wonder, well, how does this all get done? Well, it's people like Raquel who actually make these things happen. So she's been a great help for everything that we've done here today. And with this summit, I want to recognize her and give her a little gift. And all the speakers we had today gave us some great insights, and I thank them all for being here. But we wouldn't have anything without you as an audience, so thank you for coming here today. Coming here for what is just before the holiday weekend, learning about social entrepreneurship, and hopefully taking some of the things that we've talked about here today and turning them into action. That's what's going to make the impact that we're talking about for the communities, for the state. Dare I say, this is what's going to change the world. What I hope is that you take this energy that you had here today, the excitement, the curiosity, the things that you learned here today, and actually do something with them. With that, I will officially close the 3rd New Jersey Social Entrepreneurship Summit. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon.